Now I'd like to talk about one specific field we are dealing with in the IEA solar heating and cooling implementing agreement. That's on lighting. It's already in this program for more than 20 years with different activities we have seen. Focusing in the beginning on the field of daylighting, now going into integrated perspective of lighting, artificial lighting and daylighting. We recently finished a project which was called Task 50, Advanced Lighting Solutions for Retrofitting Buildings. And I'm going to give you a brief insight into this project. First of all, looking at lighting and energy on a global scale, we see that we are having around 19% of worldwide electricity consumption for lighting needs, and unlike as you might expect, this is still growing, this demand for lighting. Although we are having in the market high efficient products like LED products or also advanced lighting solutions. This is basically due to the still developing economies and also to some Jevons paradoxon to some feedback problems as people use this efficient technique more than before. Looking a little at the market and technology in the lighting field, it has been extremely fast. You see in this figure how the costs developed. They declined very fast, especially in the last 5 years for LED products, and the efficiency of these systems has increased. It's still not at the theoretical limit, but it is getting there quite fast. So we are sort of in a phase of convergence, and if you are comparing these efficiencies with former technology, fluorescent lamps, you see that we had efficiencies of around 65 lumen per watts. LED systems nowadays are in the range of 130 to 140 lumens per watt, and they are offering a high versatility and offering more for less. So the features you're getting with LED technology, they are rather advancing. Comparing to this daylight, just one number here has an efficiency, so the light you're getting per watt power is around 19 lumen per watt, so you can ask actually the questions, why don't we do everything with electric lighting? We think from the IEA perspective that's not a good idea. If you're looking into the facade and daylighting area, we see that we have a very huge market. It's around 1.3 billion square meters of new facades which are constructed each year. That is the equivalent of the area of the city of London, so it's a huge area. And we know from assessments from user studies that daylight is the preferred light source. It offers a connection to the outside. It has a variability in spectral intensity, so connects to the time of day, to the time in the year. We learn a lot about other impacts than just the visual impacts, non-visual impacts of lighting, and we think that daylighting cannot be realistically be paid for with electric lighting systems. And also we see many technical advantages, so we think that not less but more and better daylight use is something to deal with, but nevertheless we have to look into a rethinking of the relation between day and electric lighting. So one of the issues where we are bringing both aspects, electric lighting and daylighting, together is in the field of lighting retrofits. In the older developed economies, we have only a small volume of new building constructions, so looking into the retrofitting of existing buildings is a key issue. The retrofitting rate is rather low, it's around 3%. If you talk to industry, the turnover from retrofits is at around 40 to 50% of their business, and if you're looking into the existing building stock, it's around 70 to 75%. The estimate that the appliances are basically outdated. So this is definitely something to look into. We worked here in this task in the following structure, so different subtasks dealing with market and policies, technology, method and tools. We also looked into case studies and had some dissemination issues. Again, this is a collaborative research action, like all these IEA tasks are. We had altogether 18 universities, institutes, companies collaborating in this from altogether 14 countries. So I would like to present some of the work outcomes here. We looked into low-hanging fruits, as we called it. That means efficiency and at the same time economic approaches. So we did analysis how, for instance, the replacement of existing fluorescent lamp technology by LED systems pays off, what the costs are, or what the payback times are. That has been done for different types of typical spaces. So we looked into office spaces, into classrooms, wholesale, retail, also into production halls, and you see that we are getting here quite favorable payback times, which can be in the range of 1.5 up to 4 years for the areas of wholesale, retail, and for production halls. Also, a new issue is in the field of financing. It's not that common any longer that the owner also owns the lighting system, so we see new financing structures here, ESPC, energy saving performance contracts, and leasing approaches coming into the market, integrating in parts service guarantee, and also having quite some impact on the market, that we are seeing new players in the market, new service providing companies, and that we are creating high financial pressure basically on the cost of the products, and on the other hand seeing improvements on the reliability and quality side as well. One issue to look into is definitely on the side of regulations and also sustainability certificates, as these codes always can push the advance of new technologies. For the field of lighting, we looked into existing codes, compared those, and made recommendations. On the right-hand side, you're seeing proposals for taking old luminaires out of operation. If you're looking at the efficiency increase you're getting by taking out old appliances, you're somewhere in the range of a boost in efficiency from a factor 2 to 11, so this is really something which has potential. You can do this on a component side, but you can also look at it at the system level, integrating the electric lighting with the daylighting in the facade, with the sun shading or glare protection devices, connecting things by appropriate light management systems. So these are all approaches which has been worked on to make proposals which can be used in codes or regulations. Similar in the field of sustainability labels, also here assessments had been made. We looked at the global scale of this, so different systems around here based on LEED or BREEAM. We have in Europe some special other sustainability certificates, and these do not focus too much on the electric lighting side, as on the electric lighting side we have pretty good technical standard, but they give somewhat new perspectives for daylight and visual comfort by looking into, for instance, the overall daylight supply in a building, to look at the view connection you're having from a workplace to the outside, color rendering indices of the facade, things like this are addressed here. So also here we looked at the different approaches, made comparisons and also recommendations, so eventually if these systems are revised in the future, that good ideas can be taken from one to another approach. Bringing these approaches into the buildings, we assess different technologies. Altogether, 35 technologies have been assessed in detail from the daylighting side as well as from the electric lighting side. So we not only looked at the lighting performance, but also on the energy performance, how it is, how the building will react if you implement those techniques into the building shell, also the thermal impacts. That has been recently published in a source book, and I give you just some insights into this, some excerpts of this source book. So you're seeing for the lighting, daylighting side, different technologies which can be, for instance, implemented into the roof structures, light tubes. We have special heliostatic systems which especially work well under climates like here, where we have high direct insolation, so you can bring light very controlled and concentrated into indoor spaces. We see different shading louver systems also for roof light systems which provide shading on the one hand side while still maintaining a good daylight perception. We have for the vertical facades different new approaches, microstructured glazing, which you're seeing on the left-hand lower side, or classical tools like Venetian blinds, which are quite often used in Central Europe. And if we find places in the building structures without access to direct light to the outside, there are now devices around which allow to mimic daylight. This is a quite impressive system. If you see it in a space, you cannot really tell that it's not actual daylight. The direct insolation and also the sky luminance is modeled very nicely by this solution. So that's bringing basically the quality of daylight into spaces. This all is included in an electronic source book, so all the information we collected here is made electronically available, and this electronic catalogs allow to compare solutions directly. Connected to this IEA activity here in a different task are projects which are also working on the technology development. This is a new system which is currently developed in the field of transparent large area light sources. So those are elements which allow to provide, if you include them in a window, the daylight, so they're transparent, but they're also bringing electric lighting into spaces. That's a new approach which is connected closely to optical developments and new LED technology, which gives us in lighting design new approaches. One important thing, of course, is to look at how these concepts act in reality. So proof of evidence, do they actually keep what these concepts promise? So in this project, we all together looked into 24 case studies. These are from different building typologies, from different building types: office buildings, educational buildings, industry, shops, hospital and sports facilities have been looked at. And for this, a new assessment and monitoring protocol was developed and applied. We looked into the field of energy and to the field of the photometry and the user acceptance of these renovation retrofit projects, and all the information then has been put into this electronic source book, as you can see it here. This is China National Library in Beijing, so you get an idea of how the information is presented, some pictures, some table numeric values, and we also made analysis of the data we recorded, giving indications, something to learn from these case studies. Also, a cross-evaluation was done here. We have seen all together over these 24 case studies we analyzed reduction by around 50%. So before retrofit, we measured 27 kilowatt hours per square meter in year, and that went after the retrofits and on average down to 14 kilowatt hours per square meter, showing that these concepts actually seem to work. Also, there was a little award ceremony. We looked at the best case study we had, and that was actually a building from Belgium. And you're seeing that we could bring down from 86 kilowatt hours per square meter in year the energy consumption for lighting to 16 kilowatt hours per square meter in year, so a factor of 5, which could be realized in this project. Another area, of course, is to bring developments into the design and into practice. So over the years we have worked diligently on the integration of product data into simulation. So we had different measurement techniques developed, data formats, and we see this now included in professional lighting software, which is actually available for free, so you can use it in your lighting design, that you can look at newer facade components and judge their impact on lighting and energy of the buildings to be designed. This is continuing in the scope of IEA work. We are working on the speed up of the processes. Lighting calculations, if you're familiar with that, normally take quite a long. We managed to bring down calculation times from a couple of hours to almost real time on mobile devices. So this is a fast analysis of lighting supply, daylight supply in a standard office over 1 year, the data you're seeing here. And another issue, especially for retrofitting, is to get a fast assessment of the potentials of retrofit solutions. It's unlike what we're knowing from heating or cooling, that the systems are implemented, the boilers or the coolers, in one place. In lighting you have to go through the whole building, and that's for what we developed, the so-called on-site optimizer. So you're just putting in some qualitative information, and then you can judge what, for instance, change of downlight, CFL downlight technology to new LED downlight technology might bring, and you're getting directly on site an indication of what is the potential here and what possible retrofit solution can be taken. This information, these tools you have seen, and also the data we collected and analyzed has all been included into a electronic source book I already mentioned. We call it Lighting Retrofit Advisor. It tailors the information to different stakeholder interests and is available as one of the key products of this IEA task. So if you're interested in this activity in the field of lighting, electric lighting, daylighting, the interaction of both, you can go to this TAS 50 website. You find different reports, publications here, and also this electronic source book, which is available for desktop computation, but you can also run it on mobile devices, on handheld computers via iOS or Android or Windows phone. So this brings me to a brief outlook. We're not finished, hopefully, with our lighting activities in the IEA SHC program. So currently we are defining a new program which is looking at a better integration of day and electric lighting. We have seen these areas still quite a bit apart. We are seeing quite some enablers here, hybrid facade technology, integrated controls, Internet of Things, connecting the different lighting sensors and actors. And we are hoping with this project that we can somewhat foster a better integration to user benefits, to higher efficiency, and to also better market integration between facade manufacturers, lighting companies, and also companies from the building management. And here we are having hopefully then better lighting in the future with less energy, and we damn the rebound effect. And the rebound effect was the word I was looking for in the beginning. So thanks very much for your attention.